Welcome to episode 16 of...
17.
You just said...
I said we had 16 recorded.
Oh. Welcome to episode 17 of...
Oh God, please not another
podcast.
podcast. There's somebody jackhammering outside, which is what I imagine your dorm room sounded like when you were in college.
Oh my God. No. I just got back from my in-laws' house. And
How was that? Did they mention anything about this? Or
Michelle was laughing so hard on the couch watching our latest episode. Yeah.
Is she going to read the book?
She did laugh because I forgot that I put in there that I would bring it for her.
Oh yeah,
and she was.
I
didn't bring
that
it.
You didn't bring it.
No, I don't know.
You do have a Shrek on your.
I have Shrek everywhere. I have Shrek right here.
Well, I knew you were such a big fan.
Ogre Achiever. Well, these came from the books. The Shrek stands and this one came from the book. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was hot as balls. I sent Josh a picture of their thermostat in their house because I just got done saying...
They don't have central air.
They don't have central air. They do have like window units, but typically it's pretty cool in New York sometimes, and they let the windows open.
Typically it's cool sometimes, yeah.
But pretty much my insides are medium rare.
Yeah. You're a perfect, you'd be a good prime rib.
Yeah. Just add a little bit of garlic, salt, pinch of pepper.
I think some clove, some aromatics, maybe some rosemary.
Ooh, maybe some maple syrup.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do you put that on steak?
I don't know. I've never put maple syrup on my steak.
But it sounds good, doesn't it? Like a maple steak.
Are you Canadian? That seems like a Canadian move.
I was close to enough to the border to feel that way.
Yeah. Did you get any poutine?
What's like sex?
No, that's... No, French fries with gravy on them.
No, I did not. I'm actually on a new nutrition plan, unfortunately.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Did the old one, you weren't happy with it?
Well, I had nobody holding me accountable, and now I have somebody holding me accountable, so I can't.
Is it Tom?
No. No. I'm making Tom really work out again because I'm like, I need somebody to do this with me.
Tom works out, doesn't he? Or does he just do is he calisthenics? He does push-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah, he does stuff like that. But his work is so physically demanding that he's like, I moved 1,500-pound boxes today. I don't need to work out. And I'm like, yes, you do, because I worked out. So
that's 500,000 pounds.
No, he would move a 500-pound box to the right.
Yeah, I know, but then 1,000 of them.
Speaking of, did you see where? No, you didn't see. Did I tell you that Tom got a? Wait, have we talked since football season started?
The athletic director of Vanderbilt.
No,
I don't know.
No, he got a shout out from the head coach because.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, the stadium was a disaster during what do you call it?
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Happy 1-year anniversary or 11-year anniversary.
No, I was going to say
12-year anniversary.
That was like when Kanye was, George Bush does not care about black people.
But he got a shout out because the stadium looked so good and Tom worked his ass off to get it ready for game day. And
that's kind of like when those super traditional people are like, I just want to give a shout out to my wife for cleaning the whole house and making sure the kids get fed. That was their version of that.
Kind of. But it was on ESPN.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
ESPN. They're like, Tom, Howard.
I could have lied.
You did it.
It was the post-conference chat afterwards. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where they all film. Yeah. That.
Yeah. So what are they doing? I wonder what they're doing up there.
Up in heaven? Or were they jackhammering?
They're jackhammering.
No.
News to me. I'm trying to think. We haven't seen each other in a couple of weeks. I was trying to get...
Yeah, there's been a lot that's happened.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What has happened in your neck of the woods? I don't know if anything's happened with me.
Well, you were gone. You went to Florida or something.
I was in California. California. That was fun. I went out for a few Jake shows. Dan and Shay tour's almost ending, but yeah, I took a picture of the tiny little house that they sit on at one point. I don't know. It was funny, dude. I don't know. It was kind of funny because I was like, my buddy Steven met me there, who I have known since first grade. We've known each other, him and his girlfriend and one of their friends. And every moment, a Dan and Shay show feels like like I grew up like, in mega churches and stuff like that. It feels like that. I looked at Steve and I was like, I just keep waiting for them to pass around the offering plate. I just like what are the songs? They have crosses everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it was just like,
do they?
It really does like, like on all their screens and stuff like that. At some points, it did feel, like I was just like, man, it's like they're crying at some points. They're doing like the whole like, this is our favorite audience ever, and we never thought we were gonna do this. And
man, it's just like thing. A man to say that you're their favorite person ever, and then say it to the next show.
Yeah.
Man,
on cue, yeah. No.
What did you fly out there?
I went Southwest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did.
I did because they're the only people who've been having like directs. I mean, if you go to LAX, you'll have more direct. But I flew into San Diego. They had a direct there. And then I went to Palm Springs for a day on Sunday. I saw my nieces and my parents and stuff. And then they had a direct out of Ontario, which is like an hour or something from Palm Springs. So
I want to go to Alcatraz. Will you take me?
Yeah, I'll go. I've been a few times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Did you swim there?
No, I didn't swim there. It can get pretty cold. No, I didn't swim there. But, they say that's how some of the prisoners escaped. It's interesting. You can see like back when I did the tour, they was like they were still on Walkmans where they would like you'd go around and like they'd put little noises in and stuff as you're walking around. They had it timed out.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It's super interesting. And like Al Capone was there. Like there's some.
I want to do a ghost tour.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely say it's haunted, and you could see that with how old it is, and it's creepy. It's kind of a creepy place for sure. And
didn't they say like any prisoners that did escape? Escape.
They ones
it got eaten by sharks.
They got espresso after.
Think about me every night. Oh,
I was just joking because
sweet, I guess so.
It's escape and espresso, and you went escape and. I said espresso. And no, they didn't get eaten by sharks. They truly think they did get away.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like shark-infested water. It's San Francisco. You can like see you can see the other part. Like I don't know. It's not that crazy of a swim. Like swimmers do it all the time.
Yeah, I guess I just think that great whites live over there.
Yeah, I think that's I think they have them. Isn't the Indian Ocean the most infested with sharks? Is the warmest? I don't know.
Where's the Indian Ocean? Is that
I think
where?
That's the Southern Ocean.
Is that the tip of Africa? I believe is the most infested. Do you think you could fight off a shark?
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to. Mostly when they're swimming towards you, if you can just kind of reach your hand out and push their nose away and guide them left or right. And
because that's. Do you think that you wouldn't? Would you panic or would you stay calm and be able to be like, oh, let me boop your nose?
I feel like I would stay calm, and then I think the shark would actually respect me and come back around and let me ride on his back for a little bit, and then we'd become friends.
And then you'd have a tea party.
Yeah.
In the ocean.
He would be my Peter the Dolphin, you know what I mean? And he'd be like, what comes after this.
And now I like picture the shark in like one of those like fedoras, and he goes, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. M'wady. No, I don't. I think they do say that, like, and that's mostly like if you're scuba diving and you're like underwater kind of thing. You have vision or whatever. But I think if not, you go for blinding. Maybe the shark. I don't know.
You just cover his eyes. You play peekaboo?
No, I think you try to.
Pop
him.
I imagine you just going.
I went to school with somebody who died by a shark attack, though, but they're up in Northern California. So, more towards Alcatraz and Santa Cruz. Yeah, he's this big surfer. I think his name is Ben.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I met a guy who was attacked by a shark, and he had. Not even joking, like full crescent moon, like stitches.
Yeah, you don't die from like you die from drowning usually.
I thought you died from blood loss.
No, you die from drowning normally. They're pulling you under. They're just ripping away, and you can't. You're like panicking. You're trying to breathe, so you're swallowing water. You're doing yeah.
Can sharks just like chill out?
You know.
I mean, it's their home, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I'm just splashing around, not doing anything. You don't need to come eat me.
I know, but people, that's the thing too, is like they confuse like wetsuits as like seals because it's all like unicolored.
I'll never be in a wetsuit, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll just see my pasty pale skin in the water and you'll be like, yep, that's Braley.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh no, that's Braley.
No. No. But her insides are medium rare after being in her in-laws. So.
But I'm pretty sure they like the raw stuff. They're going for raw sushi, you know?
Oh man, sushi sounds so good. You say that and immediately it's like Pavlov.
It's not my thing, so.
Really? You don't like sushi?
No. I just told somebody the other day because Jake was one of the shows when we were in Florida a few weeks ago. He got a bunch of fish from the local like fish market there, and he had me try some raw tuna, and I was like, this actually isn't that bad. It's kind of mushy though.
I don't like raw tuna.
It was raw tuna with some soy sauce on it or whatever. It was pretty good.
I don't know. Raw. My brother.
You're talking about sushi. Sushi is raw.
I'm thinking of cooked like sushi. Like I'm thinking of like tempura. Yeah. I'm not thinking of like raw fish. I don't like raw fish, but I will eat like cooked shrimp inside a roll.
You mean
that's sushi?
You mean fried shrimp? You're gonna eat fried shrimp?
I will definitely eat cooked shrimp. No, a lot of my sushi rolls are cooked shrimp. Or crab meat. Yum. Okay. That's sushi. That is sushi too.
I don't think that's like real sushi. That's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like, but yeah, I mean, the 2 times I have had fish have both been like really high grade tuna, like in the like last few years. I grew up eating fish sticks, but then I don't
like fish sticks like
did you ever see that South? Yeah, did you ever see that South Park with where they're talking to Kanye West or whatever, and he just doesn't get. It's like a dumb joke that the kids are saying. They're like, "You like fish sticks? What are you, a gay fish?" It's like fish sticks, and he just doesn't get it. But then he like keeps trying to solve. Like he has like he's doing like Rain Man equations on like he's like I don't get. And then at the end, he comes out as a gay fish.
No, I haven't seen that episode, but I think it is so funny. South Park still makes new episodes, right?
All the time, yeah. Yeah, they're still doing it. I mean, yeah, I know. They have a pretty good finger on the pulse of society. And they, it's obviously hyperbole. It's like, it's exaggerated. It's like, but it's hilarious, They
used to watch South Park Christmas every Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We would watch the musical with Hanky the Christmas Pooh.
Yeah.
It was so fun. That when I think of Christmas, I think of South Park.
Yeah.
Not Jesus.
Hanky
the
Christmas Pooh. I have I never wear them. I never even took them out of the box, but I have the towel shoes where you walk in the sun, like they're Adidas, and they're like made out of towel, like terry cloth. Like
You've never worn them?
No, I've never worn them. I just keep them in the box. But when you walk, I don't. Maybe when you walk in the sun, the eyes turn from white to red. Yeah, it's so good. Maybe I just get a little half.
Wait, could they be collectibles?
They might be. I don't know.
Interesting.
They could be. I don't really know. I just buy a lot of shoes.
You do buy a lot of shoes. You're a shoe man.
I'm a shoe man.
You're a shoe in
they can go
with society.
No. Oh. So what? I mean, you went to New York and
we flew Allegiant,
but not like the good part.
No, the great part. This is like upstate New York, and it's beautiful, like the mountains and all that.
But you don't get the lovely smell of urine that fills the streets of Manhattan.
I didn't get to see a fat rat.
No.
That's
too bad.
No, it was fun.
I just drank this like a psychopath. I have my hand on the bottom of this.
Yeah, we flew Allegiant up there. I wasn't even scared. But on the way back, I got on the plane, and the last people to get on. Okay, I'm going to say something kind of mean.
Okay.
This is a safe space, right?
No.
Oh.
Just
I'm going to say something mean.
Yeah.
So this like big group of people came out of nowhere, and immediately my brain goes, I just know they smell bad. I just know they do. This guy is chewing his gum with his mouth open, just obnoxiously. They're wearing these ugly straw cowboy hats, going to Nashville. Woo! So I flew Allegiant, and I was sitting down, and this big group of people came in, and all of a sudden I was like, they smell bad. I just know they do. Like I said, they had a straw hat. One guy's chewing gum obnoxiously, whatever. We get on the plane and we sit down, and all of a sudden they come on last. And this like woman goes, wow. And immediately it's like my insides coiled in, and I was like, I don't like you. And she goes, hope you guys don't get sick of that. And this man behind me goes, I'm already sick of it.
I'm already sick
luckily
of it.
Luckily they didn't do anything the whole time, but it's funny because I ended up in my store yesterday when I was working.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy?
You just
Yeah.
ran in. Did you go, woo?
Woo! I hope we don't get sick of that.
I hope you don't get sick of that.
So annoying.
I also had a weird plane interaction on the way.
Did you?
Yeah, on the way to San Diego. This guy I have met one time.
You've met him.
I met him one time.
God.
He's friends with one of my neighbors, and he's like, are you friends with? And I was like, yeah. And like, he's like, you remember me? And I was like, yeah, man. Like, how's it going or whatever? And like, he's chatty. He's really chatty. And like, I was like, this is about to be a 4.5 hour flight. I'm like, not trying to like.
Wait, he sat next to you?
No, not at first.
Oh God.
No, so as soon as like I'm getting on the plane, I'm committed to these very noise canceling headphones, like very noisy. But I could see out of the corner of my eye, he was sitting like 5 rows back to me. He asked the person sitting across the aisle from me to switch seats. I just didn't look over at all the whole time. I was just looking forward in front of me. And
I just picture
and then eventually I fall asleep. We get to California and he goes, I took a picture of you while you were sleeping. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna send it. It's his wife is the boss of one of my neighbors. He's like, I'm gonna send it to her and have her send it to your neighbors. Like, they love stuff like that. And I was like, I told him about it later. Like, we never got a picture. And I was
God, Josh.
I know what
that is so creepy.
I took a picture of you while you were sleeping.
Were you angelic at least?
I don't think so. I probably was doing the like turkey staring up at the rain, kind of like
oh my
mouth
God.
open. But
Josh, that's just gonna circulate the internet.
Which is also funny because when we get off this dude took up. It was a full flight. Took up an overhead bin space. He brings a guitar with him everywhere he goes. He doesn't play, like, he's not a musician. He's like, I just bring this with me when I go on work. He works in medical cells. When I go on work trips, it keeps me out of trouble. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah.
That makes zero sense.
Like, why would you take up so much overhead bin space for a thing you don't need? Like, you're not going out there to play a show. You're not doing anything like that. You just bring
to keep you out of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Using it as a weapon? Like, I don't get it.
It keeps me out of trouble. Well, just I think him going out at night or doing what, like,
Yeah.
but I was just like, all right, man, well, have a good day.
That is so
Enjoy
weird.
San Diego.
Josh, I hope that I see your picture somewhere on the internet and be like,
I hope so too.
I hope he uses it as like a TikTok scandal. Be like, this
Yeah,
man
this guy,
did
yeah.
this and this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is insane.
This
That's
guy
creepy.
ignored me for 4.5 hours. On
You know, one of my biggest pet peeves when flying is why do people, when they get on a plane, let's say they're in the back of the plane,
Yeah.
put their luggage in the front storage bins?
Because they think they're going to grab it on the way out. Oh, I had a terrible thing happen on the way back here too.
What happened?
Some lady, just a god awful lady. She was sitting in front of me, and everybody gets. Of course, people are over the age of like, I don't know, 40 are always the people who just stand up as soon as the plane, and you're just like, chill out. She like everybody else is grabbing their stuff, filing out one by one. She like goes up, grabs her one thing, and like starts walking. And so like I turn to grab my thing. I turn around and walk, and she's still there. And I bumped into her, and she goes, Jesus fucking Christ. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I thought you were moving. She's like, at least can I get my shit first? And I was like, okay. And then she proceeds to like, it took her so long. She's not old or anything. It took her so long to get everything ready. And then like, because the lady who was sitting next to me just started laughing because we all were just like, this is a huge reaction for what just happened. Like,
Ew.
I just like accidentally bumped into you. And then she just like, it took her so long to get off the plane. She was still struggling with her bags as she's walking off the plane. And I was like, I don't think that was a me problem.
You are
you
projecting.
have 2 bags. Yeah.
That is crazy. I like people like that annoy the fuck out of me. Like you are in the world. You are not the only person that exists either. And that is not how you respond to somebody. I don't care what you're going through.
Yeah.
If somebody did that, been like, excuse me.
Yeah.
You know what my new thing is right now?
What?
Instead of saying like, I don't know where this came from, but all of a sudden, if anything happens that like it irritates me, I go, motherfucking Pearl. And I don't know where it came from. But anyways, I just
maybe
had to get
it's
that
mother of Pearl that you are.
I think that's what it is. Mother of fucking Pearl is what I say. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I think that I hope she has the day. I hope she has a bad day.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Wait.
I will.
Did we talk about, have I seen you since the TikTok scandal that I was almost a part of?
Oh, no. You had a plane incident, huh?
It wasn't a plane incident. No.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
It was a beach incident.
Yeah, the lightning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just preface this real fast by saying, like, TikTok, you don't realize how small the world is, and I'll get it done real fast. Mm-hmm. You don't realize how small the world is until like you're on TikTok and something like this happens.
Right.
When I went to Amelia Island and we went down to the beach, we were on the beach and it started storming one day, and all of a sudden this guy comes up to our tent when we're just like waiting the storm out, and he's like, "Can you call the cops?" And we were like, "Okay." Why? Because we had no idea why. And he didn't say anything, but we couldn't hear him. And my friend was like, "Well, what's going on?" He's like, "A lady collapsed." And we're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Okay. So I ran over to this lady. Didn't run. I walked. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And her husband's kind of like covering her. And she's like, "I got struck by lightning." And I was like, "Shit."
You said shocking.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah. So she got struck by lightning, but because she was like holding the umbrella and the lightning struck, and it
a perfect lightning rod.
Right?
Has she never seen Sweet Home Alabama?
Has she never heard of Benjamin Franklin?
The man goes and he's putting the steel rods in the sand. Yeah.
So she's laying on the ground. She's breathing and she's moving, and she's kind of moving. So I go over to my friend and I go, "She is breathing and she is awake, like she's conscious." So she's on the phone with dispatcher and she's like, "This is where she is. The tent's right here. We're going to be to the left of it."
Yeah.
And she hung up. And then I walk back over and I go, "The ambulance is on the way." And the husband looks at me and goes, "Thank you." And I said, "You're welcome." So then we wait for the ambulance. We show them where they are. And then we walk up to her grandfather's house to wait out the storm. Then the storm leaves. So we go about our day, right? She walks into a truck. Like she walks into, not even an ambulance. She walks into a car, a truck, and drives away. But the next day she's on the beach. And she's just staring at us. Like, and I remember being like, why is she looking at us? Like she was angry, which is kind of funny in a sense because all we were doing was body surfing in the waves.
Right.
Like adults and, whatever. Yeah. We go about our day, we leave. And then 2.5 weeks later, I'm on TikTok and she comes across my For You page on TikTok and she goes, "Put a finger down if," and she starts telling the story.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Put a finger down if and the tent next to you refused to call the cops for whatever God knows why. But they just refused to call the cops. And it was just us on the beach too, which is, whatever.
Right.
And so my friend sent it to me. She was like, "She said we didn't call the cops," which is crazy. In the comment section, no wonder I was having bad luck for 2 weeks because literally everybody was like, "I hope that they die. I hope that karma gets them. You should make them famous." And she was like, "Maybe I'll make them famous." Like as if she had like photos
she has
of
the
us.
Power to make her.
Yes. And I literally was like, "Please make me famous."
Yeah.
I've been trying for so long. So long story short, we reached out to her because I commented on it and I was like, "Hey, girl from the tent, we actually did call the cops.
You fled a scene."
Not to mention, how else did the cops get there? It was only us on the beach. So I was like, "Did she do this for clout? Like, this is so weird."
It seems like it.
Right? Okay. Yeah. Fun fact. She has like 600,000 followers on TikTok, 300,000 on Instagram. She's a medium. And apparently the lightning strike helped with her psychic medium stuff.
Well, why wasn't she able to predict it before it happened?
I know.
He said, "Oh, I think I'm going to get struck by lightning."
Yeah. So long story short, she was like, "Oh, you are from the tent. That's crazy. Da da da." And she made a follow-up video about how she was going to come over to us and be like, "Why didn't you call the cops?" We were like, "Why didn't you? This would have solved right then."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But maybe you just wanted a video for clout."
Yeah.
I don't know. I was hoping that she'd be so mean.
It seems like she's a rage baiter.
Yeah.
She's just like,
I was kind of hoping she would be like extra mean so I can make a video and then we like start this war and then I can get my TikTok following up.
Oh, so you want to fight fire with fire?
Oh, absolutely. As long as my fire is bigger, we're good.
Oh my gosh.
We are so good.
She has strength in numbers. She has 600,000 followers.
I don't know how many of them are real.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. I mean, they could be.
I wonder if she can predict how many of them are real.
I know.
Something tells me she knows.
Her view ratio isn't.
Oh yeah,
isn't like
about the view ratio.
Yeah, and like
Speaking of which, our little TikTok, I think it got shared over 800 times now.
I know. I can't believe it. I don't understand how it keeps going. That's crazy.
It just keeps going. You know?
Don't worry. I'll do a book synopsis for us.
I'm excited about it.
I finished it and I was actually a little sad. I was like, no more reading a chapter to Tom every night.
We'll get you the follow-up. Stay in my swamp.
Okay.
We got so many crazy book recommendations from that. Like,
we should
all these monster series. Like,
well, I sent you the one that said airpeen.
Yeah, airpeen.
And it's like about a penis airplane.
Yeah.
There's one called The Knob about a doorknob.
Yeah.
There's a few that I found. One about a pillow. Hey guys.
I feel like you would be a good traffic controller for an airpeen.
You know what? That's actually the nicest compliment you've ever given me. I'll take it. But I will tell you one thing. One thing that is so funny about TikTok, and sorry, we have to talk about it.
Okay.
Is how quick they are.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like sometimes you're watching something and then like 30 seconds later someone's already made some TikTok about it.
But like no, like the debate and immediately like they're eating the dogs, eating the cats, eating the cats, eating the dogs.
Yeah.
Like the fact that somebody remixed it that quick.
So funny. I know.
Josh and I I was laughing out loud.
The debate was
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I can't, and some people will get all mad and be like, "You think it's funny challenging democracy?"
At this point, yes.
And I'm like, dude, it's all a joke. Is any of this real? You know what I mean? Like, you realize, like, whatever.
Yeah. Like, I was just telling somebody. I don't even know who I was talking. Oh, my mother-in-law. Was it her? Yeah, I was like, honestly, the world's not going to end if either one of them gets elected. I mean, it might suck for a little bit, but whatever. Yeah. Like, we could deal, guys. We could do it.
Yeah.
The sun will rise.
It's fine. The sun will come up tomorrow.
You know what's really funny is I remember in 13 when Obama got 14 when he got reelected, whenever. Yeah. I remember all these people because I grew up in the South and, people were so angry that he got reelected. Yeah. And I just made a little post on Facebook and I was like, hey guys, I think you guys need to chill. The sun's going to rise in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning and it was storming so bad. And everybody was like, you said the sun was going to rise. Yeah. I go, technically it did.
You are a liar. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Josh
a witchy
and
woman.
Josh and I were literally texting back and forth the whole debate, just laughing because I was just like, and even Tom was laughing. It was a 5-star entertainment moment.
It was, there is some good stuff. I mean, like I said, like that dude could be a comedian if,
Yeah. I think he is.
Yeah,
I think he is. And he's just like playing us all.
Right.
And
it is true. Like, I don't know. Yeah. He was a registered actually Democrat for a long time.
Well, we won't get into it, but you know what he said about Republicans back in the day.
I don't know. Yeah.
We won't talk about let's get into Braley's book corner.
Let's get into Braley's book corner. Braley's big butt book corner. And barbecue.
Braley's big butt barbecue book corner.
That's your calling. You need to move back to Georgia and start a little bookshop that also does barbecue.
And it really is called, but Braley's big butt could also be synonym for barbecue.
Well, yeah, they're pork butt. Yeah. Braley's big butt barbecue book corner. Book corner.
That could be a clip. Okay, so I finally finished getting my swamp.
And do you want to stay in the swamp?
Because I don't.
That is the follow-up.
Here's what's funny about it is, did I read you any of the reviews on Goodreads?
I think you did read some of them.
So I rated it 2, and I would have rated it 2.5 stars. The reason why I didn't get more is
that's
because
out of 2 stars.
That's out of 2, so I gave it 2.5.
You gave
it
extra.
so well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, it was a masterpiece of its own. Would I recommend? absolutely. I read a chapter to my husband every single night. I got into doing a Scottish accent.
No.
Donkey. But actually it was donne.
Donne. Oh,
Donne.
Yeah. I did a French guy right there. Donne.
Wait, that's Italian. So this is what happens in it. So Beck, not to be confused with Shrek, he lives in a swamp, right?
Yeah.
And he captures Leona, who's not to be confused with
Fiona.
Yes. And she falls into his trap or whatever. And he's like, oh my God, she is so beautiful. She has the most beautiful lips and tits. And I love her so much already. Now, you guys have to picture.
I do normally start at the lips. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's the tits.
Yeah. I'm like, do the lips match the tits? It's a carpets drape situation. But, you know. Both plump. Yeah, both ample.
Cool.
I would say.
Both can fit a piece of corn. It's a corn cob.
Corn? Yeah.
Hot dog?
Corn.
Daddy's dog. Yeah. So the hardest part about this book was picturing Shrek as hot because...
Do you not find regular Shrek hot at all?
I mean... Imagine that in the bedroom.
That little face.
Like, are we doing it? So he captures Leona and he lives in this like magical like area of the world, I guess, in a forest in Florida. They're like in the Everglades.
Oh.
And he's at the front of their town because he's supposed to keep them safe because he's a 7-foot 6-pack wearing ogre.
Yeah.
And he brings her back and puts her in a cage. And he's like, I don't know what to do with her because she's passed out. So he leaves her there. She wakes up and she's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? And who is this big, sexy green ogre that's in front of me? And he's like, it's me.
It was instant attraction.
Yeah, instant attraction. Okay. Beck. And she was like, I have to get out of here because she's marrying Lawrence Farquaad, not to be confused with
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah. But in the movie, in the book, he's not short. But the problem is he does have a tiny penis.
Oh, well, something is short on. Yeah,
she said, let's just say the hand theory is not true. His
big
hands are big, small penis.
That would actually, and when you think about this anatomically, be very hard growing up having giant hands but a small penis.
You know what?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Think
Poor
about
guys.
Feel bad for Lawrence Farquaad.
I feel bad for Lawrence Farquaad.
Why are you patting me on the back? Don't pat me on the back.
I feel like you're relating somehow.
No, just because I'm an empathetic person doesn't mean that I have normal size hands and a normal size. It's all very normal, all right?
Okay.
I look up averages.
Okay. All right. We will.
It's normal. It's normal. Shut up. It's normal. No.
All right. So she's like, I got to get out of here. I'm marrying Lawrence Farquaad.
Yeah.
And because she's on her bachelorette trip too. And so she is like, I need to get out of here. And he's like, you can't get out of here because if you tell anybody about us, then we're all going to die.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to kill you because like, you're so hot. And she's like, I'm pretty hot.
It does get people out of things.
Yeah. So they had a town meeting and all the creatures came and they were like, hey, the woodland creatures. And Donnie was there, not to be confused with
Donkey.
Yes, but Donkey is a centaur. So I finally got my centaur. Apparently a centaur with a 6-pack. And it was where the human half was up top and the horse was at the bottom. It was the
What if it was a reverse? It was horse up top and human.
I'm sure somebody's written a book about it.
Yeah, just a horse-headed man.
Yes. So anyways, they're like, hey, you need to keep her then. Like, and he's like, all right, I'll keep her. So then she's like, I need to figure out a way to get out of here. And so she calls it Operation Pussy Trap. Oh. That ends on chapter like 10. It just ends on Operation Pussy Trap. So she starts like getting herself off in front of him, right? And like trying to get him to open the cage and whatever. And he's like, no, I won't. So he gets out his big dong and she's like, oh my God. It goes to like his knees.
Wow, that's insane for a 7'6" person.
Yeah. a dong.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes. And also, but she also said that his fingers are the size of like a peanut, a regular penis.
Like Jimmy Dean sausages.
Yeah, but even bigger. Yeah. So anyways, she's like, just let me out of here. And he's like, no. And but then like that night he like made her dinner and was like wooing her and let her out, and she's eating dinner. She's like, I don't want to sleep in the cage tonight. Can I sleep with you? And he's like, for sure, but just know, like, I only have one bed and I'm not sleeping on the floor. And she's like,
I think after, why would that even be a question after somebody is just diddling themselves in front of you? You know,
right,
she's in the
right.
He's like, I'm not sleeping on the floor.
Yeah,
like,
right?
I don't think you yeah.
So, but here's the thing is that she's like, I'm going to escape tonight.
Yeah.
And she's like, while he's sleeping, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But in the middle of the night, she's like looking at him. He's like glistening because he has a 6-pack and he's an ogre. And she starts, you know, diddling herself again.
I'm assuming they're kind of like upstate New York where they don't have central air conditioning as well, because why are you glistening in the middle of the night? You know, that makes no sense. Is there no ceiling fan?
You know, like I picture like them in like a muddy dune.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like his bed has like that fur blanket over it.
Yeah.
With a fire roaring in the side.
Right,
but also,
right.
yeah, he's.
And you're like, why is there fire? We're in the Everglades in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. 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 So, anyways, he wakes up and he's like, do you want me to help you? And she's like, sure. So yeah, so they do like a little fondling, right? And then she's like, I can't do that again. I need to escape. So she escapes. She starts sprinting, and all of a sudden, now picture a big giant ogre being like
7'6". Yeah. You can cover a lot of ground in just like one. Yeah.
And he like football tackles her.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They roll around in the dirt, and then they do it for the first time. And she experiences her first ogre orgasm.
The double O.
The double O. And she's like, I love him.
Wow.
This is within 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Guys, we're halfway through the book.
Could you imagine? That's it. You're like, oh, I love him.
Yep. Yeah. She's like, I love him.
Yeah.
So the next day, because he ripped her clothes in half in the woods and they did it, he had to go buy her clothes. And she's like, I have nothing to wear. So he cuts armholes out of a potato sack.
I was going to say, like, what, a boutique store they have there in the Everglades?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they go into town and she gets like this dress made with like flowers and it's beautiful. And he's like, oh my God, I love her. Oh God, let me do that again.
Yeah.
God, I love her.
No.
I love her.
I love her. Yeah.
They go back, they do it again. Crazy.
Yeah.
So then they're in like the woods at this watering hole and they're swimming. Well, he's off chopping wood or something.
Yeah.
And Donnie comes out of the woodworks. Donnie.
Is Donnie like here
Donnie's a grapist.
What?
He tries to grape her.
What? Oh, no.
Donnie. Yeah, Donnie.
I didn't know that's where that went.
I didn't think it was going to go there either, but apparently Donnie's evil and like whatever. So then all of a sudden, sorry, not Shrek, Beck comes out of nowhere, beats the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Then they have sex in the water.
Wow.
And then she's like, I really do need to leave here. And he's like, I have a potion for you to erase your memory if you really want to leave. And she's like, no, I don't want you to take my memory. And he's like, no, I have to. You're going to tell people about us. And she's like, no, I love you. And he's like, well, I love you. And then she was like, but I got to go back. So she goes back to LA because Lawrence Farquaad finds her.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's just from LA.
Yeah, she's from LA.
Said this ain't no country club either. This is LA.
Yeah, but get this twist and turn. So she goes back to LA with Lawrence and leaves Beck in the dust. He doesn't know where she is. Then she's like, one day she's like, I really need to go apologize to Lawrence's sister because she did this bachelorette party for me and I just like went away.
Yeah.
So she like walks in. She was like, hi, I brought you a coffee, blah, blah, blah. She was like, oh my, I forgot her name. She's like, oh my God, no. Like, what are you doing here? And she was like, I'm bringing you coffee to apologize. And she was like, you don't need to be here. You're fine. She's like, just go. I'll meet you later. And she's like, oh, are you having sex? And all of a sudden, guess who pops out of the bedroom? Lawrence Farquaad. Oh! And she was like, oh my God.
It's incestuous.
And he's like, it's not what it looks like. She's like, you're fucking your sister.
It's like the Lannisters from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And he goes, she's my stepsister. And she goes, ah, like, are you not like, what?
He goes, that's my stepsister.
Yeah. She's like, what porn are you watching? Like freaking out. Right.
Yeah.
So then she like obviously leaves him and he's like, please don't leave me. Like, it's just, and she's like, no, you're incestual. This is so weird to fuck your sister.
Yeah.
So that night she moves out, she goes and lives above like a Chinese restaurant and she's about to fall asleep and she's like all of a sudden horny out of nowhere. And all of a sudden there's like this bang on her door and it's like, boom. And she's like, oh my God, who could that be? And it's all of a sudden she hears, I can smell you from here.
It's back in the big city.
It's back in the big city.
Oh no.
And then he's like standing over her and he's like, I love you. And she's like, I love you. And they have sex and that's the end. 158 pages.
Wow. 158 pages of 18 font. Like,
yes.
The biggest,
And what's funny is like, I wanted to turn the pages. I did because I was like, where is this going to go? But Tom only allowed one chapter a night.
Yeah. He said, that's all I can take.
Yes. And sometimes, and I'm not really good at reading out loud sometimes.
Yeah.
And
well, that book made me feel like I was having a stroke when I was just trying to read the back of it. And I was like, there are some weird commas or not enough commas.
I got it. I mean, like, it was so, I mean, brilliant. GM Ferry. You
gotta get your B book now.
I know.
Based on the B movie.
I need to read Stay in My Swamp first and then the B movie one because that was just delicious. Right. And I got to add it to my Goodreads this year. So I am only 3 books behind now on my reading goal.
Well, that's exciting.
I know. So Beck, you're a hot ogre.
You're a hot ogre, Beck. This might surprise you, have not read anything in years. I don't.
He doesn't even read instructions. I don't even know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, it would make it a lot easier, I'm sure, if I did read some instructions for things. But
but sometimes it's fun to figure it out on your own.
So true.
And then when you do, you're like, stupid. No, I didn't know that.
It's weird. It's like I don't really read books, but I do read a lot of like I'll read articles.
Yeah.
I'll read, I read things, but yeah, I just haven't like said that. I don't know. I was never like a book, and I have a hard time. Like last time I remember. Anyway, last time I remember reading a book, I was in the airport and it was the worst thing. I restarted. I counted. I restarted a page 12 times because
really?
I could not and I was like that in school too. Like every time I would read, I would start I have a really hard time comprehending as I'm reading. And
I get that.
So then I keep going back, and then because my brain will just start going with other things. I'm reading the words, but then I'm just not.
You're thinking about something else. Well, that's how I get when I read. I hate starting a book because I know the beginning is like, ugh, we have to build the characters first, whatever. Right. So I love books that right off the bat, you're like, damn. For example,
I feel like Getting My Swamp is probably one of them.
It was one. The moment she was like, I got porn star lips, big tits, and an ass that just don't quit. But like Verity by Colleen Hoover, immediately it started off with somebody getting run over and their brain splatters everywhere.
No.
And you're like, well, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? So
that's kind of like Hereditary, like the movie. Like within the first few minutes, like his sister gets her head knocked off by a telephone pole.
Gross. Ew. Yeah. Ew. I don't like it.
Why?
I don't.
She was going into anaphylactic shock.
So they chopped her head off?
No. She was at a party. He had to take his sister to a party, and then she goes to to a high school party, and she's pretty young, and she goes and she's just hanging out, and then she eats some brownies. Doesn't know the brownies have walnuts in them or whatever. And then so she's her throat's closing up, and she gets her brother, she's like, whatever. And he throws her in the back of the car, and he's trying to drive her to the hospital, and she can't breathe. So she tries to stick her head out the window. Something he has to swerve. Her head hits the telephone pole, just flies off, and it's a good movie. You should see it sometime.
I'm not good.
It's a family film. And
speaking of being allergic to nuts, I just finished another book where this girl was allergic. She did it in passing. She was like, "Oh, I can't eat that. Sorry, I'm allergic to nuts." And the guy remembered it. Yeah. And in this book, this guy is so passionate. He's so hot, right?
Oh,
he doesn't have hockey hair. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I was reading it, and I was like, "Tom, I was like, I need more passion from you. I need passion.
Yeah.
This guy carries an EpiPen now because he knows that she's allergic to nuts. And he looks at me, he goes, you want me to carry an EpiPen for you? Knowing full well I'm not allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I've been on a reading kick.
Yeah. And you're not allergic to nuts.
Not any kind.
Not any kind.
None.
None. Said, give me all the nuts. Which is what your senior yearbook quote was just give me
not
all
allergic to
give me
any nuts.
Any nuts. Give me all the nuts.
Hey, well, how much time we got?
We got 9:11.
9:11. That's scary. Do you want to try to? I want to see if you can sing this karaoke.
What is it?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
You have to figure out what it is.
Okay, play for me. But is it going to hit your mic or put it in?
Where should I put it?
By the mic. Yeah. We'll mix it.
Okay. Let me find it. Make sure.
Okay.
This is called Carafun.
Let's see.
Not yet.
This is a YouTube ad.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm waiting. We're waiting for this.
Hold on. It's loading.
Oh, this is taking a minute. This is taking a minute right now. This is crazy. There's a place on Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. It's pitched down or something, huh?
You think so?
Yeah. You're supposed to put like 3 to 5 reels a week, and do all that stuff. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, man, we probably could be crushing it if either of us had the time to dedicate to making that many things.
I know, especially coming up on the end of the year, though, it's even harder.
I know. It is. They do have some AI things, I guess, that do it. But
January, February, I feel like we could really skyrocket off of this.
Yeah. Totally. Probably quit our jobs. Even,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
That'd be so
Sorry.
awesome.
Blank collection. You're...
my hair's getting long enough that if I were naked, I could just put it over my nipples.
Yeah.
And nobody would see my boobs.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you would need a lot of hair to get those salami slappers covered. You know what I mean? Do they sell extra wide curtains?
You know what? You know what's annoying about books is they never actually they'll be like, and her nipples were perky and pink. And I'm like,
tiniest little.
Yeah, they're just the cutest little thing. It's never and that looks like a charcuterie board.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the fine calabrese? It's
Domino's pizza.
There's a little bit of discoloration, and there's some white over here, but some red over here.
Oh man, they really do get it wrong sometimes.
They do. It's all fantasy. You know what I mean? It's just like when people watch, porn or whatever. It's like that's not reality.
Yeah, I just found
that's
out.
That's not real.
I just found out that women. In porn, for example, they get that surgery where it cuts their vaginas.
Oh,
I just said vaginas.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking with a little kid. Like a rhinoplasty.
I guess so, and to make it look like a perfect vagina.
Yeah, which is so dumb. Just let yourself be whatever you want to. I mean, and if that's what they want to be, then great. But
let yourself fly away.
Yeah. Let the sails open.
Oh. But we're. I think it. I don't know why I learned that thing. Oh, it's because some girl was yelling. This guy was talking about the perfect vagina, and she's like, that only happens in 2% of people.
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah.
And then on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, there's a girl that got a rhinoplasty.
Really?
Yeah, because she was like everything just kind of fell out after I had kids, and I was like,
oh,
yum,
is that great?
So delicious.
Great. It's like the Inside Out Oreo.
Yeah, exactly. Josh, you have to watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I will.
No, promise me.
What's it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
I learned that there's one girl on there that her husband and her were having this intimate moment where she put Fruity Pebbles all down there, and then he had himself some breakfast.
Wow. That sounds like it would throw off your pH.
Oh, If a bar of soap could do it, Fruity Pebbles exactly. For sure I don't think
that sounds like a you don't want to.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's also a girl in there that for sure her husband is gay. Like there's just no way he's not. She talks about him being on Tinder, but come to find out that
it's
now
Grindr.
It's Grindr. And she literally is like, he was just confused, and I'm like, no, honey, no.
I think you're confused.
You're just confused. That's the problem. It's just a bunch of mean girls. And Josh, you would love it. I really do think you would love it.
I think I would too. I think you're right.
And then we could recap it.
Okay. I'm down. We definitely need a show that we could recap. We should pick a current show one of these times though, so we can.
Okay, yeah, we should pick Secret Lives of Mormons. I'll rewatch it. Is that a current
show? I feel like get it on just because I don't want to be out of focus while I'm out of focus. You know what I mean? If we're sitting at the same level, then we're.
I'll rewatch it. I'll start rewatching it today, and so then we will recap. Okay. I'm gonna have notes.
Is it a current show? Do people they
yeah,
still
it's
have
current. It's huge right now. Huge.
Okay.
I have to sneeze.
Okay. Do it. Oh my God.
Guys, I've gotten in the habit of sneezing and peeing a little. I didn't just now because I emptied my bladder a second ago. But
you just got in the habit of that?
Yeah, it's weird. It's
why don't you just?
Do I need to do Kegels?
You might need some. Is it Kegels? I don't know.
Is it Kegels or Kegels?
I don't know.
Is it Kellogg's?
Yeah.
Is it Fruity Pebbles?
You want a handy-down set? I think we have some weights at that. Slightly used.
It reminds me of I know. It reminds me of 50 Shades of Grey when Christian holds these silver balls and he's like, and she goes, "I don't want those in my butt," and he goes, "They don't go in your butt." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, those are for Kegels."
Yeah. What are they? Benoit ball? Is that what they are? I don't know.
Actually, I have no idea because I've never actually seen them in person.
Oh. Well, there you go.
I have not, unfortunately. Yeah.
You only read about things. You don't really ever do any of them.
And honestly, I don't think, and my imagination is fantastic, right? Yeah. So reading, just stay in the reading.
You don't need any kind of stimuli.
I did read a book that had no smut in it.
Really?
It was called The Women. I would give it 1,000 stars if I could. It was one of the best books I've ever read in my life. Yes.
It's called The Women?
It's called The Women. It's about
it's woman. About a bunch of drivers.
Yeah, it's just about a bunch of women driving.
We can do it.
It was actually so good. It was about a woman who was a nurse during the Vietnam War, and she went and joined the army so she could be a nurse in the army to go serve her country in Vietnam.
Okay.
But she came back and couldn't get any PTSD help or anything like that because they believed that no women were over there. It was actually
great. They're like, you're lying.
Yeah, no, literally. They'd be like, she would go to be like, I need a therapy, and they're like, honey, there weren't no women.
She saw
the
most traumatic things ever,
and being shot at the same time. The very one of the first scenes is her being handed a boot with a foot inside it. She was like, oh my God.
The movie the book could have just been, they're like, okay, if you were over there, then describe something to me. And she's like, okay, this, and this. And they're like, which?
Yeah.
How else would you know that besides?
But I highly recommend it. It was one of my favorite reads of this year, easily.
Really?
It was so good. And at first I was like, I'm not going to like this.
I hope they make a movie about it because I'll watch that.
They probably will.
I'll watch it with closed captions though, so it's like I'm reading.
It's right now the #1 book of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came out this year. It's #1. It literally almost has 5 stars on Goodreads, which is a big deal.
I never knew that any book ever replaced The Art of the Deal.
What's The Art of the Deal?
It was written by Donald J. Trump from I think in the 90s. Every business person has read that book. I don't know what,
what if you open it and it's literally just somebody learning their ABCs? It's A is for Apple.
What if it's just everything? It's just a little line on each thing. It's like, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. That used to be the thing. Remember The Apprentice? It was always the thing. You're fired.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Oh my gosh, that man. That man. Wait, if
the king of reinventing himself.
Question.
Yes.
This is me being ignorant, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
If a president run as many times as he wants if he doesn't get elected? So obviously he can only serve 2 terms, but can you
I think you can keep running. I think so. If you're not I think it's really once that that thing starts over again, that clock, of being president, I think then you're done after 2 terms, which is a law. But as we have learned, because of how Supreme Courts work, you can start changing laws. but like it's a road. But I think that's a pretty fundamental law of our country that we, but yeah, no, I think you can run as many times. I do think you're less likely to get the nomination from your party if you
keep losing.
Yeah, if you keep losing.
Yeah.
But
still, get rid of the two-party system. Do it now. Do it now.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably not appropriate. I take it back.
Who are you pointing that at? I don't know. So yeah, I think it would be nice, man, if we could vote for other people. But yeah, with how everything's set up, it's definitely, a Democrat, Republican, Democrat kind of thing. Independents never get all independents really do is take votes away from like both parties, and then they'll just be like, whoever's going to offer me a job, I'll give you my.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but for the longest time ever, I think of the independent party as somebody who just smokes weed. And he's like, I'm here. They want to vote for me.
I know. That was my boy, Gary Johnson. Well, he was an independent. Well, he was independent, but he was a libertarian. It was like Gary Johnson, whatever. He's the guy who faked having a heart attack on stage. Like they were having something. They were like, some lady was reading something, and she's like, and I heard if you smoke marijuana, you're 3 times as likely to have a stroke. And he just goes, oh. And it falls out of his chair. And I was like, that's my boy.
That's hilarious.
I think he was the governor of New Mexico or something like that. I don't know.
Speaking of,
I showed up wearing Dolphins colors. They were playing the Dolphins. I just didn't even, I was just wearing a nice turquoise shirt, as I do. You know what I mean? I was going dressed to impress. And one of Joe's friends was up at the bar because I got a table in the back. And he's like, you brought a fucking Dolphins fan to the Bills? I was like,
yeah. I wish you would have stopped there. You brought a fucking dolphin?
Yeah, you brought a dolphin? Is his name Peter?
Yeah, the NFL, what?
Nothing?
Oh, I thought you said, is your mic on?
I said you brought a dolphin. Is his name Peter? Is he lonely? Because Peter the Dolphin.
I know. Peter the Dolphin.
We're all Peter the Dolphin.
We watched the Titans lose twice, obviously, but the Falcons beat the Eagles on Monday, which was crazy.
I know. That was, dude.
That's crazy.
At the end, it was like 76 yards in like 15 seconds.
The commentators are like, obviously there's going to be a celebration in the Eagles locker room after this. And even Tom was like, well, they have plenty of time to score.
And what's his name? What's the quarterback's
name? Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he was like, mm-mm.
Yeah, I know. And oh my gosh, you guys, the worst news ever.
What?
Jalen Hurts got engaged.
I know.
Now I don't have a chance.
I know. You were so close to sealing that deal, and he just decided.
My DM is still unread.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, my DM to Megan Thee Stallion is also still unread. So wouldn't it be weird if they got together?
And then we'd be like, we would show up, be like, excuse me.
We'd be like, is this like a close relationship or is it open?
I think I could get my husband to say yes.
Yeah, I for sure already have a signed permission slip, so I just keep that in my back pocket. And then
I just see Courtney being like, sure, honey.
Whatever. Yeah. Have at it.
You know what I loved the other night?
What?
When we were playing at the bar and you got to the song where it's like, and we both shout boobies, and Courtney was in the audience going, boobies.
Yeah. And then I forgot the line after that, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's fine because nobody really pays attention to me anyways.
Well, definitely that bar, they don't, but.
Yeah, I know. Losers is it's a tough crowd to get people to care.
I couldn't hear myself because when I was playing, the drum was like. Zzz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could do a better job of muting that. Yeah, man, I haven't been writing many songs. I haven't been doing much lately.
Are you playing any shows anytime soon?
Nope. You're playing tonight.
I'm playing tonight. Yeah, tonight. I unfortunately
9 p.m.
said 9 p.m.
On The Verge. Why don't they just call it edging?
I don't know. I play tonight, and I have a single coming out Friday. So by the time this releases, I should have 100 million streams.
Yeah. So
say I'll have 100 million.
Yeah. No, I said yeah. So why don't all of you who are listening right now since Brayley's single has been out for a week, go and check to see if it has 100 million streams on it.
And if it doesn't, better get to listening.
Yeah, better
or else.
Stream it. Yeah,
that's a threat.
100 million streams. That's a lot.
That would be so many.
It would be. A million's a lot. I have a song that almost.
I think 100,000 is a lot. I think 10,000 is a lot.
Wild Woman has almost 3 million.
I have no million.
Yeah, it's fine. It got uploaded wrong, so it doesn't even like count towards my profile. But
really,
yeah, it counts towards my chart metric and all that other stuff. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, anything else that you want to plug or?
No, I actually feel like I'm going to shit my pants. So
wow, you're giving us a.
We'll cut that.
The whole thing is just going to be emptied out.
I don't know. I just started not to feel like my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy.
Wow, but there's not vomit on your sweater already. That's coming.
Maybe I'm just really hungry.
What about your mom? Is she making spaghetti?
No, I don't know if she knows how to make spaghetti.
That's pretty easy. You just kind of boil some water and put it in.
I bet she doesn't even put salt in the water first.
Did you guys grow up cooking or no?
No, I'm just kidding. My mom could definitely make spaghetti. My mom can cook.
Did you? Cook? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
She's a Southern
I didn't
woman.
know because
Southern Texas woman.
I knew you guys grew up very affluent, where you guys had drivers and such like that. So
for sure. Actually, my bedroom, it was a carriage house. Actually, I had my own kitchen and everything. I actually had 4 horses. I had 3. Speaking of Rolls Royce, oh my God! So I pulled up to the gym this morning.
Yeah, Rolls Royce.
Yeah, sometimes there's random really nice cars there.
Yeah.
The ugliest Rolls Royce I've ever seen in my life. It was bright yellow. It looked like a taxi cab that somebody just stuck a Rolls Royce pin on.
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously was a real one, but I was like,
true cash
yellow?
Cab. Yeah, it's cash cab.
I don't know. So I looked around. I was like, who in here would have a yellow Rolls Royce?
Were you able to pinpoint anyone who would have a yellow?
There was one guy that I was like, you definitely look like you would drive that because his shirt was tucked into his gym shorts.
Oh, interesting.
And I just knew because there's this one guy that always brings a Lambo, and it's always a different kind too. So I don't really know what's going on.
He might work at like a dealership or something.
And when he gets out, he looks like a dad that just cut his grass and he puts his shirt also in his pants and it's just I know. And he wears driving gloves and he swings his bag over his shoulder like this and then walks into the gym and kind of just walks on a treadmill, which is nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah,
but I was like, you think that women are probably, but someone would drop their panties for that.
I guess, yeah. I guess. That's crazy. As long as they don't make them take off the driving gloves.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that you weren't married to Courtney.
I'm not.
And
I got divorced. Anyway, let's keep going.
That's not true. And okay. And this 90-year-old woman came up to you, no teeth, and she was like, "Honey, I want to date you," and she's a gajillionaire.
Yeah.
Would you marry her for her money?
Yeah, but I'd do that right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's fun. After you've known each other, I know because you guys are still, so infantile in your relationship, you and Thomas, but after 14 years, there's not a lot that really could shake you or make you be like, wow, I would just be like, hey, I'm marrying this old lady. Everything is going to be taken care of from now on. And we don't have to work or whatever.
And she would be like,
yeah. She's like, do your thing, kid.
Okay, next. Okay, fine. Okay. An old man.
Do I have
Joe Biden?
What do I have to do? Do I have to do everything?
Yep, you're married to him.
Oh no,
that's a Hugh Hefner situation.
Yeah, I just don't think I could take my. That's the thing is, I think I'd be really good at it, but I don't think.
I'm sorry. Let's elaborate. You'd be really good at what, Josh?
That's sucking dick. I've just I've had a lot of popsicles in my life, and I was just like, wow, this is the technique isn't bad. And I have big lips, you know what I mean? I just think but I don't think I could do it if it wasn't cold. I mean, Joe Biden's might be cold, so maybe that would need a.
You need the penis to be cold?
Well, I mean, for me to relate it to a popsicle. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a fudge pop or a rocket pop or a big stick. Like, I mean, I'm actually kind of a size queen when it comes to my popsicles. I like a big stick. I think the bigger the better.
So I'm Braylee Linderman. You just kept going
Yeah. Or those ones. Maybe it's a foreigner one because of the Flintstone pop where you have to kind of like push it back and
uncircumcised.
Yeah, you're right. It's like an uncircumcised popsicle. You have to push it through the.
I think we should on that note.
All right. Well, this was a great time. And
you can follow you where, Josh?
You can follow me home at night or in a mall parking lot. Josh Dell, JOSHDEL, on everything except on TikTok. I'm Josh Dell 1.
Oh yeah, because some idiot took your
name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody just stole one of my videos too and did not credit me. It was sad.
What a dick.
I know. Where can we find Braylee Elizabeth Linderman?
You can find Braylee Linderman, not to be confused with Bailey Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Braylee Linderman at everything.
Okay.
Just put my name in. Nobody else's name.
Somebody's going to put at everything.
At everything.
Braylee Linderman.
Wait, real quick. Yesterday I was trying to give a lady this email and I was like, all right, it's info at, and then I put like the email.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, so it's INFOAT. And I go, no, ma'am.
You're like, that is not how emails
That's not it. Babe.
Info at.
She goes,
Info at.
And I was like, no, ma'am, it is the sign for at.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, find us anywhere. Follow us on OGPNAP.
Yep.
And like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And comment and heart.
All of them.
And save and repost.
Yeah.
And feed it to your children.
Indoctrinate your kids.
Make sure. Put tampons in the men's bathroom.
Yeah, that'll show them.
All right.
I don't know.
We love you guys.
Yeah, love you so much. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Okay.
Bye. I'm gonna go poop. Bye.
Oh
God. Please, not another podcast.
Yeah.